Hi, everybody. Welcome in. This is Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive reader, and I read for your highest good. I'm going to start by ringing the wind chimes today. And then we're going to hop into some animals. Who am I talking to today? What's the energy? Manatee. Oh, I'm talking to a gentle giant, possibly a vegetarian. We got acceptance, simplify, and slow down. Okay. Manatee. I just want to really quickly talk about this Animal Love Oracle card deck, you guys. Check out Nadine Gordon-Taylor. She's the author. And in my experience, very few folks write the book for an Oracle deck and also do all of the art. And she has done both. Here in her blurb at the back of the book, it says, Nadine Gordon-Taylor has had the ability to channel and experience other beings since childhood. Wow. She studied at the Art Students League while attending high school and college. She earned a BA with a concentration in printmaking and art history. Master of Fine Arts in painting. And I believe an educational doctorate. Is that what an EdD is? In art from Columbia. She has studied comparative religion and alternative healing modalities to help inform her art. Before embarking on her journey as an intuitive artist and working with universal and intuitive symbols, Nadine focused on photorealist drawings and paintings of her shadow, integrating, embracing, and honoring her dark side. She has taught publicly and privately for more than 30 years and has lectured and given workshops across the country. Her drawings, prints, and paintings have been exhibited and are in collections around the world. Wow. What a well-versed person. What an incredible life. And what incredible artwork. I don't know, it's just like such disparate career fields that she combined, right? And she's woven into her life her intuitive abilities as well. I don't know, I think it just goes to show that we can use our gifts in a number of ways. Okay, Manatee affirmations. I take my time. Slow and steady wins the race. When I breathe from the heart, there is nothing to forgive. As the saying goes, everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. The card you've selected shows a pensive manatee floating peacefully in warm waters. Manatees are gentle creatures that grace our planet with their beautiful energy. Although the water is their home, they are mammals that hold their breath while diving and surface when they need air. It is mesmerizing watching these slow-moving, peaceful beings move fluently through the water. They are visual meditations. Oh, wow. This is a great way to describe manatees. The manatee may resemble and move like a whale, but it is actually physically closer to the beautiful elephant. Both signify dignity, royalty, and good luck. It is easy to see why the manatee is a symbol for slowing down, relaxing, and taking time to smell the roses. They are laid back and take things as they come creatures. If your life has become too complex and frenetic, it's time to simplify. Say no to extraneous things and rid yourself of unnecessary excess baggage, literally and figuratively. When you pare down, you get to genuinely know and appreciate what you already have. And less becomes more and more. You will experience liberating freedom when you let go. Manatees live in water, and water is a symbol for the unconscious. So the manatee denotes self-reflecting and being honest with oneself. Water is also a symbol of renewal. Those who swim with the manatee allow themselves to heal and to forgive. They want you to let go of any disturbing thoughts and negative emotions. Don't get caught up in any personal or public dramas. Accept that some things happen for reasons that are not always understood at the time. The wise manatee moves on, unencumbered, finding peace in all situations. In general, the manatee prefers shallow waters. Its message is not to get too deep or too serious. Lighten up a bit and know that all things happen at just the right time. If the manatee has captured your attention, know that peaceful times are ahead, and any dreams you believe in will surface. Oh, I like that. So there's a real non-grasping energy here with the manatee. This wasn't mentioned, but they are like they eat seagrasses, I believe. They're gentle vegetarians. They sort of graze in the water. They don't have to hunt for anything. They don't have to strive. They just sort of be. Yeah, this is light times. Good energy. All right, manatees. Let's see what's in the cards for you today. Manatee. Acceptance, simplify, and slow down. It's interesting because I was directed to pull maybe the fewest decks in a long time. We're going to start with the Oracle Destiny. And this is a deck based on palmistry, but I mostly go off of the images on the cards intuitively. If we get stumped, we'll look at the book, but otherwise, we're rolling with it. First card out, we got Life. That is a beautiful card. Life. Very similar to the manatee energy, that card. Concerns. What, guys? You have life concerns? It's like you're a human being living in 2025, huh? Let's see what else we got. Whirl. Whirl. Whirl? Whirl. Whirl. WHORL. Whirl. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, though. Just for the art alone. I think that's so beautiful. It's hypnotic. Life concerns. Life concerns got you in a whirl. Star. Mm-hmm. All right, we were really working to get to that last card. Air. Okay, I'm reading you as this whirl woman. it feels like this whole left-hand side is very terrestrial, like very earth, 3D kind of energy. And you know, the earth is sacred. Don't get me wrong here. But on the right over here, it's very celestial, celestial energy. Okay. Someone here might be a little bit confused about like you might be working with hmm. This has got me in a bit of a whirl. I okay, okay. All right. Sometimes the readings get really meta, guys, and when I'm having a hard time, like I'm pretty tapped in. So when it's taken me a hot minute to figure this out, what I start to realize is that's part of the reading. So with this manatee energy of slowing down, yeah, your concerns right now, or like these elements in your life, you might be juggling a lot here. There's something here about like needing to work on manifesting in a more grounded way, or one that incorporates all of the that incorporates all of the elements. Okay, so we've got life representing earth. We've got the sword here in concerns. Um, hmm. Okay, there's a need to simplify. One of these elements is getting in the way of your vision. Like there's something that's obscuring your view. You might think that you have to choose one. Like, do you work with earth and the elementals, or do you work with like angelic forces, like the celestial realm? And it's like, oh no, you're this conduit for both. Like you sit in the in between. I'm getting all crossed up right next to you guys. Okay. let's I mean, I was not told to pull any more, like there's no tarot here. There's nothing, no more concrete symbols to grasp onto. And I think that was purposeful on my, like, for me. Since we're getting stumped here, I'm going to start by saying, I'm going to start in the middle here. This is a middle outwards reading. I'm going to start with a whorl. So, first of all, I don't usually read these, but the whorl is a type of fingerprint which develops its concentric pattern around an epicenter in the middle of the fingertip. It is the most complex feature and also indicates psychological variety. The general characteristics are being reserved, restlessness, sensitivity, and perceptiveness. A whorl on one finger is a sign of independence regarding the characteristic of that finger, of free interpretation of those values. On the ring finger, it indicates a desire for originality in expressing oneself. So yeah, this is a fingerprint pattern. You can find new means, this is the divinatory meaning, you can find new means of personal and nonconformist expression. Propose original solutions in dealing with relationships, business, and every aspect of life. Trust in your originality and never forget that you should not impulsively give in to an anxious need to act. Hesitation can be fruitful if accompanied by thought. Well, this is another slowing down manatee card. Yeah, so you might be tempted to move in a more impulsive way just at present, if this isn't a permanent attribute of you. You might not be neurotypical. Okay, I mean, let's see if the Hollow Woods can clarify any of this for us before we get into the advice cards. Werewolf. Middle of transforming from a man into a werewolf. I'm doing this reading on a full moon, actually. Full moon in Leo, if that's significant to anyone. Oh, Death, the Reaper. Castle gates with the abandoned rosary beads. And the Little Red Riding Hood type character coming from this cottage in the woods. Okay, gonna do another card. Ooh, and the garden path again. Third reading in a row. So you're going through some sort of energetic transformation here. Which is being initiated from the spirit realm. Okay, and my feeling is, so energetic transformation initiated from the spirit realm. This might be why this is so confusing. This might be why you're in a bit of a whirl. Because you might not have chosen this. I understand, guys, this happened to me. I think a lot of people come to spirituality with the faith already developed, or like faith in hand. But that was not the case for me. I have been atheist for most of my life, and then through mindfulness meditation, I became agnostic because I was like, oh, there's definitely consciousness outside of brains. Consciousness is not something that my brain is creating. It's just tuning into it, you know? And but it was from a very like westernized Buddhist mindfulness perspective. And I was never very deeply rooted in any kind of spirituality or faith. So I lacked a lot of the knowledge and tools for what I was thrown into, which was essentially the energetic deep end. I was activated like a sleeper agent, you guys. My life got turned upside down. I started to be able to feel energy. To see the color of various like spirits around. It was very alarming. Probably what it feels like the first time you transform into a werewolf. But you know, you get used to it and you learn the rules and you recognize that like on the full moon, I don't wear my favorite clothes, you know, because they're gonna get I'm just gonna tear them apart anyway. So you learn what the rules are, and I think what Spirit is trying to say is like, don't forget, like where you're going is going to require some faith. And if you try to if you try to figure this out, logic your way through this, you're going to get stuck in a whirl. But my feeling is, you know, with this card, it's kind of illustrated in a way like her body language is just vague enough that you're like, oh, what happened in the cottage, you know? Was it pleasant? Was it unpleasant? And my feeling is like you're heading into some unknown terrain. And so Spirit wants you to take your faith with you, because that faith is going to be the difference maker between this being a scary walk through the woods and a well-paved garden path. Yes, okay, we're getting somewhere. Getting confirmation for this. Good. This might look a little bit different for everyone that this resonates for. I just imagine someone watching this and being like, no, this doesn't resonate at all. And then the next day, stuff starts hitting the fan for them. If that's you, revisit this reading and watch some of my other readings too, because recently there have been a lot about like stepping into your gifts, going into the unknown, doing this dance with Spirit. And a lot of the time we don't choose it. It's activated for us. It's like a soul level decision. It's above your pay grade, right? It's like, highest self, that energetically the time is correct, right? Like, it might just be your time. Yeah, okay. I reversed these. Okay. Interesting. I'm still a little bit confused about either side of the whirl here, but these, it might just be like a dizzying array of things that you're encountering. Yeah, that's what it is. Damn it, guys. Okay, that's what it is. Just confusing stuff. And I'm here to say it gets easier. It gets easier once you realize that you don't need to know exactly what this is, right? You don't need to know or to even try to figure it out. What you do have to have is faith that things are happening at the right time, that you are protected, that you are guided, that your intuition is getting stronger and stronger. And as long as you lean into love and don't indulge fear, like, that's how this becomes a whole lot easier. Like, imagine getting, like, you're standing in a line and I don't know what you think you're going to do. Go see a movie and you get to the front and they're like loading people onto a roller coaster and you're like, "Oh no, I can't." And they're like, "There's nowhere to go. You have to get on the roller coaster." So you're strapped in and you're completely safe. Like, you are completely safe. But you might pull some G's. Like, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but just know that if you tense up, right? If you tense up, it's just going to be so much more uncomfortable. So there's this, like, relaxing into all of this strangeness is the best way to move through. Yeah, like, imagine if Harry Potter got to Hogwarts and he was just like, instead of being delighted by all the wonder, instead he was just like scared shitless by everything he saw. And he's like, "What's that? What's that?" And he's afraid of everything in Hogwarts. And it's like, you got to get used to it, guy. Like, you live here now. This place is full of magic, you know? And yes, some of it is darker than others, but, you know, like, you learn about it, you understand it, and uh, eventually you learn to work with it. Like, Harry can speak to snakes, which is something that you're only supposed to be able to do if you're like a dark wizard, right? But he has spiritual gifts that range all up and down the spectrum, from the celestial, like the highest heights, to the terrestrial, like the deepest depths, right? And that makes, if this is you, if I'm saying this because this is you, you are an extraordinarily powerful being. Lots of people can work somewhere, they can work with frequencies like somewhere along this, and they kind of tend to stay there. But you can work with the full gamut if this is you. And your journey is going to might be at times more confusing than the journeys of others. But just know that that's because, like, the fruits you're growing are stranger, more beautiful, and just like delicious, like outrageously tasty. They're unique. They're unique. I want to say exotic. What you're growing right now is exotic fruits. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's get us both some advice, huh? This was quite the reading. Okay. I don't like this one for you. Okay. No, we're working through it. We're working with it. So this is Gandalf and Grima in the Golden Halls of TΔrσt. Let me see which part of this is for you. Okay. All right. So typically this is a card about, it's a pearls before swine lesson. Like, no, don't waste your words on people who deserve your silence is the context for this one. It might be that you want to talk to people about this, but it may be difficult to find people, even in the spiritual community, who will understand all of this. And what you will find, if you haven't already, is that religious people will not be very helpful on this journey. Oh yeah, I don't like this for you. It's not that the card is wrong, the card is right. It's that you might not have the best support. I didn't either. So I'm being guided to talk about the point in the plots where this occurs. So, you know, Grima is this nasty, nasty dude. He wasn't always that way, but he is. He is now. And he's shown that in many ways. And Gandalf just, he's just transformed from Gandalf the Grey into Gandalf the White, which involved him fighting a gigantic demon of the underworld and dying and then being brought back by the spirit realm on an important mission. It's like a rebirth. And this may be in some sense what you're going through. Like you might be turning from Gandalf the Grey into Gandalf the White, which is an investment of power in you. But Gandalf describes it as having passed through fire and death, right? So there's like, there are parts of this that might be uncomfortable, but it is going to be worth it. Like when he comes back as Gandalf the White, there is, I don't want to say an urgency to his mission, but there is an authority to it. Previously as Gandalf the Grey, he was all about persuading the people of Middle Earth to find like the best of themselves and to live from that space. When he comes back as Gandalf the White, that's still his aim, but he's been given this power because it is needed in the world, right? And he can no longer waste time trying to persuade someone who has shown him in many ways is asleep, is lost, is like deeply trapped in the ego. He cannot waste time trying to transform Grima, this person, right? Like that his mission is so much bigger than Grima. So when Grima starts to pour his nasty energy out, Gandalf just says, keep your forked tongue behind your teeth, essentially. I have not passed through fire and death to bandy crooked words with a witless worm. So like Source hasn't made this investment in you to transform you with new powers that might range up and down the gamut. This is This is really exciting, you guys. Like you're a spiritual badass. That's what Gandalf is. He's a Maiar, which is kind of like an angel to an archangel. His powers are like, he's a highly ranked spiritual being. Yeah, my sense is that's what you are. And so far your life has not reflected that necessarily. Like there might have just been, I feel like there's always been a magic to you that people find palpable, especially I don't want to say that. It's different for everyone. Getting some nasty energy from that, actually. Yeah, there is a light in you that people have recognized. What they have done in response to it will vary widely. Some people just want to harvest that light. Some people want to be close to it. It scares some people because it illuminates their darkness. Others it inspires. Gandalf has one of the elven rings of power, and it's the fire ring. And what this ring does, like, he's given it because of his mission, and its power is to kindle hope in hearts that have grown cold. And your mission might be very similar, but it's like you've been working with the abilities of Gandalf the Grey here, who often gets mistaken for an old man or like a vagabond or just like a wandering human who has learned some magic. But once he becomes Gandalf the White, it's very, very clear what he does and what his abilities are and his spiritual rank. So you're about to get, like, you're being upgraded. I've said this in a couple of the readings recently. But in my experience, the times when I've been most confused about what's going on energetically are the times when I'm in a transition energetically. And a lot of it is happening in realms that you cannot readily see, right? It's happening on levels that you can't readily appreciate. So just hang in there, guys. Let's see what other advice there is for you. Just like, you don't have to go around telling people off like Gandalf tells Grima off. Just recognize that what's happening to you is sacred and unique, and people are not going to necessarily understand, and they might get freaked out if you share. If you're going through, like, this is not medical advice, or psychological advice. If you're really going through it and you feel like you need help, obviously seek it, but just know that there won't be many people who will understand. That's why this faith is necessary. Because if you go through this, you really have to rely on spirit. It almost feels cruel, but it's like we're shown, like, humans are great, but our human society can't help so much with this. We just don't have the spiritual tools. So yeah, lean on spirit. Keep the faith. Don't waste your words on people who will misunderstand you. And go within. Sherlock Holmes in the Mind Palace. So this is an invitation to meditate, like to engage in the spiritual practices that you know work for you. If meditation is not part of your routine, this is a great time to start. Once you can find that spiritual calm, or just get to a place where your nervous system is not as activated, this whirl will start to slow down. Things will start to get a little clearer. All right, let's see what else for you. All right, bottom of the deck, we got Obi-Wan on Camino, surveying the clone army he didn't order. So this is from Star Wars Episode 2. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a master Jedi. He goes to this planet looking for this bounty hunter, right? He gets there, and the planet is populated by these cloners. And they're like, oh, Master Jedi, we weren't expecting you. You must be here to survey the clone army that the Jedi ordered. And he knows nothing about this, but he's just like, oh, yes. So they then show him around and show him this clone army that the Jedi are not aware of, but have supposedly ordered on behalf of the Republic. So Obi-Wan Kenobi winds up being made a general in the Clone Wars. I got a little bit of a, that might be a hint for you. Okay, yeah, so you are important. Oh, yeah, you're kind of a big deal, whoever I'm talking to. Like, I don't tend to think of spirituality as like a, I don't know, there's this very Christian idea about like light against dark, spiritual warfare. Really, it's just like, I mean, there is to a degree, right? There's the human society that we built and how it represses the soul. And you can view it as like a fight if you like. I think it's a lot easier when we don't. Anyway, you might be sort of a general, like your rank is high. And your activation, the coming online of your gifts will start a chain reaction. It's important. It's important. You're a big deal. But yeah, stay quiet, watchful, and diplomatic. Someone with this range of gifts gets visited by the whole gamut of spiritual beings. And some of your protectors don't look like love and light. They look like mud and blood. They look very dark. But that's because you do run the gamut. Just remember that you have the upper hand so long as you stay quiet and observant. This is usually about like, you stay quiet and other people talk and you get what you need to know. It's about being conservative. But I think in this instance, it's more like you are watching your own body. You are watching your own reactions to these possibly batshit things that are happening to you. And you're not judging them as either positive or negative. You are remaining centered, equanimous, diplomatic. You're staying in manatee energy. unbothered if you can. But just this energy of like, I'm not going to get too deep into this or my fear-based reactions to this. I'm going to stay light. I'm going to keep my vibration really high. I'm going to stay in both the water and the sunshine, right? Like, stay in these elements that lift your vibration, that are very healing, where you can be upgraded more easily. Bare feet on grass if you can. As much in nature as you can. Keeping your mind focused on high vibrational thoughts whenever possible. Love, surrounding yourself with love. Joy, gratitude. These are some of the best. Like, if you're worried that some aspect of this is spiritual attack, don't worry about that. Even if it were that, it would not help you to worry about it. What would help you more is surrounding yourself with love. That's the greatest shield. And knowing that you are protected. And just watching your own emotional reactions to things and not buying into them. The meditation will help with this. So refrain from prejudging this situation as good or bad. And then once you have, keep seeking advice from the wise in this realm. And sometimes this is just going to be your own heart, your own intuition and spirit. Yes, you might pick up the occasional good piece of advice from the spiritual community, from tarot, but mostly you're just leaning into faith. Taking it slow, simplifying your approach, investing in the natural basics and not getting... Like, my sense about this whole whirl spread is that all of the chaos is spiraling outward from this, like, the thought patterns in your own mind. And things are very energetically charged because all of this work is happening on you. And it's like, whatever you're putting into this field, right, it's a powerful field right now. So keep it light. Keep it easy breezy, because Spirit's got you. Spirit's got you. All right, guys. That's the reading for today. Sincerely, best of luck with this transformation. I know firsthand that it can be uncomfortable. Like, there's energetic growing pains. Listen to your intuition, eat and drink intuitively. Even if it's something kind of weird that you're guided to, even if you've never tasted it before or drank this kind of tea before, but you're being pulled to it. You're being intuitively told, like, this will help right now. Try it out. And I'll see you in the next reading.